G'day viewers. In this segment I'm going to tell you how the rest of the lectures in this course are organised. But first, congratulations are in order. You've now learned about the key concepts of protocols and layering which you use to structure networks. So that means that you can read diagrams like this and understand, for instance, that here are two hosts that are using wireless connectivity to talk to one another. And you've also seen how the internet protocols are organised in frameworks such as this internet reference model. This model in particular, I want to point out the narrow waist of the internet, which is IP, and how it allows a diversity of different link technologies to flower, as well as a diversity of different applications to be used on top of the network. Well, in the rest of the course, we're going to use this reference model that's shown below. So you'll see that we mostly follow an internet reference model. We actually do a little more, so if we go through this model, we start at the physical layer, which is all about sending bits using signals. We're going to do a bit more of this layer than you usually see in the internet. And then we move on to the usual link layer to send frames across links, the network layer to send packets across multiple networks, the transport layer for different kinds of end-to-end delivery, including reliability, and the application layer for all manner of programs which make use of the network. So as well as doing a little more on the physical layer than you would get in your typical internet reference model, we're also going to talk about some of the alternatives to IP. So I won't always be very internet specific. Sometimes I'll show you other ways of doing things, which may or may not be popular in practice. The idea is here to give you a good sense of how networks, not only how the internet is used, but how networks can be designed, as might be valuable to know in the future. Our progression of lectures is going to work through these layers really from the bottom up. So we'll start here at the physical layer, and you'll learn about wires and fiber and wireless. Then we'll move on to the link layer, where you'll learn about protocols such as Ethernet and 802.11, which are used to connect to all manner of hosts. At the network layer, we'll learn about IP is really the main example, as well as technologies like NAT and routing in the internet with protocols such as BGP. Then we'll look at the transport layer, the TCP and UDP protocols mostly, and then all manner of protocols which make use of the network applications such as HTTP, DNS and CDNs. After that, we'll follow up with a little more detail on some subjects which span multiple layers. And I'm thinking in particular of quality of service and security. All of these topics cover more than one layer. They don't neatly fit into any of them. And all the way through, this will be an upper division college level course. So there's definitely a lot of material. This is the sort of course that you can be proud of accomplishing. For the textbook is Computer Networks, the 5th edition. Either the US or the international edition is just fine. And throughout all of the lectures, I'll note the section numbers that the lecture corresponds to in the text. Now, this text is optional but recommended. So this means you don't have to buy it if you don't want to. That's just fine. We've done our best to make all of the lectures and the homework self-contained so that you can go through them by yourself and you can learn a great deal about networking. But you may occasionally need to look things up on the web if you want a little more detail, because it's unusual for these college level courses to run with no textbook at all. For those of you who do have the textbook, read it on the indicated sections, browse through them and look at them to gain more explanations for a greater level of depth and detail on the concepts we cover. This is very helpful if you want to do well, in particular on the homeworks and the exams. I'll also point out extra topics that you might be interested in and you can read about in the text, but we just don't have time to cover in this course. And you can also use it. There's a lot of reference material in it. Okay, well, I think we're good to go.